and welcome to the Warehouse 421 experience. My name is Asma Khouri and today I'll be teaching you how to make paper from teabags. Before we get started, we'd like to thank you for joining us today and hope that you are keeping well and safe during such times. Okay, so let's start. In today's workshop, we will be learning how to make paper from teabags and how to turn basic things found at home for our creative practice. So what I have here is Teabags. Now the brand doesn't really matter, you can use whatever brand you have at home. Then we have our water and our flour and brush. And for the brush, it doesn't really matter what brand you're using. And the last thing is the iron. So let's start the workshop. First thing we're gonna do is pour the water into the flour and mix it. And if you're wondering why the flour and the water, so this will be our glue. So just mix it until the texture thickens and you have a glue-like consistency. Now I'm going to move everything aside and start the next step, which is opening and emptying the tea bags. I'm going to start by removing the label and cutting the top part very slowly and removing the staple out of the tea bag. So I'm just emptying the tea out and opening up the tea bag completely and removing the stitched part that's in the middle. And you can see what I have left of the tea bag is just a flat sheet of paper now. So when you're at this stage, just have a container or a plate on the side so you can empty the tea inside and it wouldn't go to waste. And remember that the amount of tea bags that you're going to empty depends on how big or small you want your sheet to be. Okay, so the next step is attaching, or let's say gluing the tea bags together. So I'm just gonna take my brush and dip it in my glue base and add it to the tea bag. Don't add a lot of it because this flour base will hold up pretty well. It might be easier if you do 2 or 3 together and then attach them all to the bigger paper. So here's my paper. You don't really have to do it this big, or you can actually go bigger if you want, or smaller. Just keep on attaching more papers to the bigger paper that you have. Okay, so the next and final step is the ironing part, and I'm just going to do one here so you can see the difference. If you prefer the not iron texture that the paper has and you feel like it will work with your painting or drawing, then you can simply skip this part. But if you want more of a flat and smooth texture, then iron it. And here's the difference between the ironed and not ironed paper. You can see how one is smoother than the other. So here are examples of the things that you can do on the teabag paper. This was a very quick small painting. You can add details and work on it more if you want. And I just painted with acrylics, but again you can use any medium you prefer. And this was the end of the workshop. You can take this sheet of paper and paint or draw on it or use it for any other purpose. So that was a simple and easy way to make paper out of tea bags and find paper or canvas alternatives and use different materials in such times. I hope you enjoyed and found this helpful. Stay safe and thank you for watching.